Alright YouTube, here's update number 12. Just did roughly a 20-mile test drive on it. It is the 4BT Cummins MV4500 GM trans. For the most part, it's all done. You can see I've got some buffing compound left on it, and that white stripe in the grill needs to come out. The only thing I'm lacking is headlights and the clearance lights gaskets. It did well. I can't complain. I did tin my front windshield. I'm not a tinner, but I got just some runaround tires on for one, so it'll clear into the garage. It'll drive in, and they're decent tread. They'll get me down the road for a minute. I still got to get the tailgate harnesses to work. It did work before, but I don't really know. It was all hacked in there before, so I'll clean that up. I was really eager to drive it. I guess the only issue I'd say I have right now is my volt gauge isn't really reading right. It's reading 13, even though I've got 14.2 throughout the whole truck except at the gauge. And the oil pressure gauge is real choppy when it works. Put a mechanical gauge on it. It seemed fine. Not sure what's going on with that. It is a rainy day in Knoxville or Maryville, but when it warms up, I'm hoping to be able to get that glue off and then get the brake booster, or not the brake booster, the brake box put in. But I did run the SM465 shifter. Everything works. I even got it into 5th gear this time. Super quiet. Doors are extremely tight. And back looks good. I wish it activated the dome light in the back, but this model didn't come with it, so it's fine. It's looking good. It's super quiet. It's quiet inside even with the windows down. I had a headset on and I was able to talk to a buddy of mine. I did do the DIY 4x4 shackle flip, or I did in the back, yes, the shackle flip, but up in the front, I also did it, and I did it with the Blazer springs. But what I realized is the front drive shaft wouldn't work. No matter what I did, the angle was way too much for it. So I ended up having to get a shim kit for it. And for you that don't know, you have to do the 3, not the 2. What I mean by 3 is the 3rd one goes under here. Thanks to my brother again for helping me out with that. I went ahead and did the 6 degree shims just to get it done. That drive shaft isn't the best, but it works, and I literally almost get stuck driving out of my driveway every time with this thing. So that's what I could say about that. The windows are working. I wish I could figure out the electrical. I know it's a grounding issue. I don't know why. I'm sure I'll figure it out in time. I'm just eager to drive it. The blue Chevy is great. Did everything I could ever ask of it, but she's got a lot of blow-by. Definitely needs rings, and the front cover still has issues. It's wanting to leak out some fluids every now and then. It's not as bad, but she needs to be redone again. Just that motor. But I'll start it up. You'll hear, I mean, it's super quiet. I know I'm missing a ground somewhere, and I fixed a bunch of them, but we'll see. See, that's the issue I have. The oil pressure doesn't read, but if you put a mechanical gauge on it, it just goes straight up, and I don't understand, and now it works. So I'll figure it out. I did the 5% on the top of it just because I don't want to do sun visors. I've never been a big fan of them, and I don't really use them. But I don't know if you guys can hear it. The idle's a little low. I'll adjust that some. But that's what it sounds like. It sounds pretty good, actually. I need to turn the fuel power up once I get it broke in. It is a brand new setup, so. And the 3+3s need to go on. Let me shut it down. All right, 3+3s need to go on still. I was hoping to find one. I had broke one of the pins off of it, but like I said, it's doing good. And I did repaint this fender. I had burned through it right here. There was a low spot, and I burned through it with the sandpaper. I think it came out pretty good. I mean, it matches for the most part. The passenger door is the one door. Well, this driver passenger door too, they're both a little bit lighter, and I don't understand why, because I painted all 4 doors at the same time, so it's still a little bit lighter. But you know, for the most part, it's just a truck to me. I'm not into the show truck scene, never have, never will. I will get the buffing compound off. I don't know if you could really tell it in the phone, but that door is just a hair bit lighter, and they're both that way. I'll deal with it. I'm not too worried about it, but it does what I ask so far. My biggest concern was 5th gear. I didn't know if it was going to work. What else? A gentleman had asked about the slave cylinder. I don't have it adjusted right. I don't even want to tell you that I do. You have to jam it all the way down, and that's Advanced Adapters kit. It's aggravating, actually, because you really have to push it down to get that last bit to get it in gear. Low gear works good. 4-wheel low does good. I'll grab that adapter. It's someone had asked for a part number from it. Oh, I did my first oil change and made a hell of a mess. So that's the part number. That is what it's going to be. And if you notice, it's off-centered. This is how it would be in the vehicle. So that looks normal, but when you flip it over, the bell housing is rotated for a GM vehicle. So the Turbo 400s that come behind these are like that. It's just the way it is. You'll know if you ever got a 4BT Turbo 400, it's off-centered. Again, nobody ever mentions that, but there you go. And this is what I use with my 5-speeds, my 5-speed and my SM. So no complaints, really. I really don't. But that's it. Again, I'll show you the part number. This one would work either with the Z-bar or just a regular hydraulic setup if you use a SM465. So I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. I know I got the AC left to hook up, but I mean, again, we're in Maryville, just south of Knoxville, so it's no big deal. I could care less. It will work, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if I had shown in the last video, but I did get the Reese hitch on. The rear bumper is bent. I I've had so many I didn't even pay attention when I got it. But the Reese hitch is lower than the blue truck just so that it's easier for me to, tow with it, so I don't have a 10-inch drop like before. But we'll see. It looks a little high on this back side. I need to maybe pull out that spacer and grind it down some. But I did run the 2-inch spacer. It may be just a hair bit taller on the bed, but it'll get there. It'll definitely get there. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think.